There is a specific kind of gaming regret that comes not from finishing a bad game, but from quitting a good one in the first hour. It is almost always a slow game that causes it. The fix is knowing what to look for before you walk away. Slow games come in two types. One type is slow because the slowness is the mechanism, because the pacing is not a barrier to what you were there for, but the thing itself. The other type is slow because it has not yet become what it is going to be. Both feel the same from the outside, but only one of them will earn your patience, the other will waste it. Before you commit to a slow game, or before you give up on one, 3 questions make the distinction clear. First, is the slowness doing something or just filling time? Second, what specifically is it asking of you, and is that something you can bring right now? And third, does the next stretch of sessions have the right shape for what this game needs? Outer Wilds answers all 3 in a specific way. So does almost every slow game worth talking about. Get these questions right, and you'll stop losing sessions to wrong calls. The first question is whether the slowness is building something. Is the quiet, the deliberateness, the unwillingness to rush toward a payoff, is it accumulating? Or is it just time passing before the game delivers? In Outer Wilds, every slow moment is building something. The solar system runs on a 22-minute restart loop, whether you are there or not. You're exploring in real time as it turns. And every piece of information you gather, every alien inscription you work out, every environment detail you notice, goes into a picture you cannot see the edges of yet. The game does not tell you what you are learning, and you discover that after the fact. That is the mechanism, not the obstacle. The other kind of slow does not have this. Whether an unskippable tutorial that explains things you can see for yourself, an opening sequence that exists to justify a setting before the game begins, or a prologue that withholds the mechanic you came to play for 30 minutes before it tells you a story that does not earn its length. The question, therefore, is simple. Does the slow section feel like it is filling a container or just killing time? If you can't feel anything accumulating, trust that instinct. The game may not be slow by design, it may just be slow. The second question is what the game is specifically asking of you. Not just time, what kind of attention, what disposition. Outer Wilds asks you to wander without a destination. There are no missions, no waypoints, no side quests pointing you somewhere useful. The computer on your ship does offer fragments, and there is a rumor mechanic that gestures at things you might want to look into, but that is as close to a to-do list as you get. The direction is yours to create or not create. You explore because exploring is the game, and what you find at your own pace, in your own order. That, though, is a quite specific ask. Not everyone will be comfortable with it, and there's no shame in that. I'm one of those players who wants a milestone to aim at, something that tells me the session went somewhere. Outer Wilds does not offer that. What it offers instead is discovery without structure. You've got an alien language to decode, worlds that behave unexpectedly, and a story that assembles from pieces you find rather than scenes the game delivers to you. Whether that sounds like exactly what you need, or a recipe for frustration, is not a small question. It is the question for this game. The 22-minute restart loop feeds into this directly. Every reset, whether from running out of time, falling into something inhospitable, or just choosing to start fresh, sends you back to the beginning of that loop, with your knowledge intact but your position gone. If you were making progress, the reset can sting, but the design is deliberate. The reset is what makes exploration from a different angle possible, and often the second approach to something reveals what the first approach missed entirely. It is therefore not for players who hate starting over, but for players who find that liberating. It changes how every session feels. The third question is about the shape of the session ahead. A slow game that earns its investment requires more than one well-chosen evening. It requires continuity, several sessions, each one building on what the previous one left behind. Outer Wilds keeps your knowledge across resets, but it does not keep your momentum for you. What it needs is for you to remember what you were curious about, what question you had left open, what you had not yet tried. Come back after a few weeks away, and the controls return easily enough. The game is genuinely approachable once you've found your footing, and the autopilot and forgiving landing mechanics do more than you expect. What is harder to recover, though, is the curiosity thread. Let it go cold, and you're not resuming, you're effectively restarting. The practical question, then, is whether the next few weeks have room for that kind of continuity. Not just a single session, but the ability to come back before the thread goes cold. If that is available to you, the slow opening pays off. If the sessions are likely to be scattered, Outer Wilds will feel like it is working against you rather than with you. That is the honest condition. Meet it, and the game earns every minute. Miss it, and no amount of patience recovers what the gap takes. Applied to Outer Worlds, the slowness is doing something. The attention it asks for is specific, and the shape it needs is continuity over several connected sessions. All three answers point in the same direction. This is not a tired evening game, it is a weekend start game. Something to begin when there is time to properly find your footing and let the curiosity take hold. The controls take a session to settle in, the world asks you to generate your own direction, and the 22-minute loop is a feature rather than a frustration once it clicks. None of that lands well on a scattered half hour. For players comfortable with no direction, with the pleasure of piecing something together from fragments, and who have the sessions available for that kind of continuity, Outer Wilds is a genuinely unusual game, and very few things feel like it. But for those players who need structure, milestones, something to aim at, this one is an honest mismatch. Not a verdict on them, not a verdict on the game, just a fit question with a clear answer. 3 questions. Does the slowness build something? Does what it asks match what you can bring? And do the sessions ahead of that have the right shape? Get those right and start it. If any answer is not yet, put it down, come back when it is. That is not quitting. That is the difference between a wrong game and a wrong moment. Some games take time to earn. The question was always whether the time was theirs to take.